Have you ever felt so full of thoughts, fears, and plans that your mind stopped feeling like your own? That was Rishi, a young man chasing success but drowning in the relentless noise of overthinking. Every single night, he'd lie awake, replaying his mistakes, obsessing over the future, and endlessly comparing his progress to everyone else's. It got to the point where even silence felt deafening. He desperately searched for peace in self-help books, podcasts, and motivational quotes, but nothing worked. The noise just got louder. One day, completely exhausted and restless, he decided to visit a wise monk who lived high in the hills, known for guiding lost souls toward inner clarity. Rishi found the master and asked, "Master, how do I find peace? My mind never, ever stops." The monk simply smiled and replied with a gentle voice, "Then first, you must learn to empty it." Rishi didn't understand what that meant just yet, but he was about to live the lesson. The monastery was a world away from the city. It sat high in the hills, surrounded by a profound stillness. There were no phones, no notifications, no distracting noise, just the sound of wind brushing softly through prayer flags. Rishi followed the monk into a small, sparse room. Inside, there was nothing but 2 cups and a steaming pot of tea. The monk gestured for Rishi to sit. "You say your mind is full," he began. "Let's have some tea." As the monk started pouring, Rishi watched the first cup fill to the brim and then keep going. Hot tea spilled over the sides, streaming across the table. "Master," Rishi exclaimed, jumping back, "it's full. It can't hold any more." The monk stopped pouring and looked at Rishi with that same calm smile. "Exactly," he said. "Like this cup, your mind is already overflowing with fear, judgment, and ego. Until you empty it, no new wisdom, no peace can possibly enter." Rishi sat in stunned silence, the overflowing cup, a perfect mirror of his own mind. For the first time, he realized just how heavy his thoughts had become. Over the next few days, the monk gave Rishi a series of simple, mundane tasks: sweeping the temple floor, tending to the garden, walking in complete silence. But Rishi's mind fought back every step of the way. "This is pointless," he thought, growing more frustrated by the hour. "I came here for profound answers, not to do chores." One morning, his frustration boiled over. He approached the master and said, "Master, with all due respect, I feel like I'm just wasting my time here." The monk looked up from his sweeping, his movements slow and deliberate. "And yet," he said calmly, "your time is always wasted, not because of what you do, but because your mind is never here." The words hit Rishi like a physical blow. He froze, realizing the profound truth in that statement. His mind was always somewhere else, either trapped in the past, carrying it like heavy baggage, or lost in the future, bearing it like an impossible burden. He was never, ever present in the now. So many of us live this way, never realizing that our mind becomes our own prison when we never pause to clean it out. That night, something shifted in Rishi. For the first time, he just sat quietly. He didn't try to force meditation or fight his thoughts. He just listened to the sound of his own breath, to the whisper of the wind, to the deep stillness he had been running from his entire life. And in that quiet, for the very first time, he felt a single, precious drop of peace. The next day, feeling a glimmer of hope, Rishi asked the monk, "So, how do I keep my mind empty?" The monk smiled warmly. "You don't," he replied. "You simply learn to empty it again and again. It's like dust on a table. If you don't wipe it away daily, it just piles up." He then handed Rishi a small, clear bowl of water. "Stir it," he instructed. Rishi stirred the water with his finger, and it immediately turned cloudy with sediment from the bottom. "Now, stop," the monk whispered. Rishi held his finger still. Within moments, the dirt began to settle, and the water slowly returned to perfect clarity. "This is your mind," the monk explained. "The more you stir it with anxious thoughts, the cloudier it becomes. But if you just let it rest, if you give it a moment of stillness, clarity returns all on its own." Rishi stared at the still, clear water and finally, truly understood. Peace wasn't something you could find by forcing silence or fighting your thoughts. It was about allowing the silence to emerge naturally. From that day forward, Rishi's approach changed. He stopped fighting his thoughts. Instead, he simply noticed them, acknowledging them without judgment, and then let them pass like clouds drifting across a vast, calm sky. His world didn't change, his reaction to it did. He began to see the beauty he had been blind to, the simple wonders in the everyday, the way the morning light painted the floor, the rhythmic sound of his own footsteps, the simple, steady miracle of his own breathing. One evening, as they sat together watching a spectacular sunset, the monk turned to him and said, "When your mind is full, you only see problems. When it's empty, you see possibilities." Rishi smiled, a genuine, peaceful smile. "I used to think peace came from having more control," he said softly. The monk nodded. "Control chases peace away. Surrender invites it in." In that moment, Rishi realized the truth. He hadn't lost his peace. He had just buried it under layers and layers of noise. And by learning to empty his mind, he had finally uncovered the stillness that was always there, waiting for him. Months later, Rishi returned to the city. He went back to the same job, saw the same people, and faced the same challenges, but everything felt completely different. Before, his thoughts had ruled him. Now, he was the master of his thoughts. When problems arose at work, he would pause before reacting. When worries about the future crept in, he would take a deep breath and let them go. He no longer reacted to life on autopilot. He responded to it with intention and calm. His colleagues noticed the change. They saw a new lightness in him, a centered calm they couldn't explain. His friends asked him how he stayed so grounded amidst the chaos. Rishi would just smile and say, "I stopped trying to fill my mind with Moran. I started emptying it at night." He would often remember the monk's most powerful lesson. An empty mind is not nothingness. It has space for everything that truly matters. And as the world outside continued to rush faster and faster, Rishi found strength in moving slower, peaceful, aware, and finally, truly free. Remember, peace doesn't come from adding more to your life. It comes from letting go. Your mind isn't meant to be a storage unit for every worry, every plan, and every painful memory. Learn to empty it daily of anger, of fear, of comparisons, so that wisdom, joy, and clarity have room to flow in. Stop thinking so much. Start being, because when your mind is quiet, your soul finally has a chance to speak. If this story resonated with you, please share it with someone who might need a little calm today. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that help us find stillness in a noisy world.